Hello, chemistry for teacher people. Okay, so the standard I picked was PS1-5, which was develop and use a model to describe how the total number of atoms does not change in a chemical reaction and thus mass is conserved. The main idea of this standard is the conservation of mass, which basically means that mass is not created or destroyed, it just changes forms. And a great example of this for kids to do in a classroom is very simple. I have baking soda and vinegar, and if you have the kids measure out baking soda, or well, obviously this is vinegar, measure out vinegar, measure it out, weigh it on the scale, have them measure out their baking soda, weigh it on the scale, and then add them together. And obviously a chemical reaction occurs. Oh, let me move my scale out of the way. Okay. Yeah, I don't want papers. Okay, so obviously a chemical reaction occurs, but as long as everything stays in the container, hopefully it'll all stay in the container. Oh, stay in the container. Okay, so theoretically, if everything except that little dribble had stayed in the container, you could weigh this again, even though obviously a chemical reaction is occurring and has occurred. You could weigh this again, and the weight would be equal to the amount of vinegar and the amount of baking soda that were added. And so that's a really easy thing that you can do with kids in a classroom. That's a perfect example of the conservation of mass. You can mix it up and it'll still react some more in there. And it's perfectly safe because it's just baking soda and vinegar. Okay. And the illustration I made was just a real simple picture of two materials being added together that would have the same mass as the two separate materials, even after a chemical reaction has occurred. Just like what's going on inside this little measuring cup right here. Okay, I'll see you all in class next time. Bye!